Who's that? Commander Claw. Who's bad? Commander Claw. Welcome back to another episode of Breaking Brews. I'm your host, Commander Claw, and today we're bringing another Final Fantasy commander that I think is better in the 99, but it only fits a certain type of commander. A commander that is legendary matters, legendary tribal. So, you already know if you play Magic for a while which commander I'm definitely thinking about. But anyway, this also does life gain. So let's talk about Aerith Gainsborough for 2 and a white. 2/2 body, legendary human cleric, life link. Whenever you gain life, put a +1/+1 counter on Aerith. When Aerith dies, put an X +1/+1 counters on each legendary creature you control, where X is the number of +1/+1 counters on Aerith. Okay, so let's unpack this. You're going to be gaining life through lifelink or triggered abilities that say gain life, and you get to go tall with this commander. But that's not where it shines. She is a good sacrifice creature to buff up each legendary creature you control with her power, where it X is the number of +1/+1 counters on her. So that could be really good just to end the game with almost like an overrun effect without the trample, of course. So let's talk about these commanders that she goes well with. Y'all better have known it. Jodah the Unifier works super well with her. A Ardbert commander, white, blue, black, red, and green, 5/5 body, legendary human wizard. Legendary creatures you control get +X/+X, where X is the number of legendary creatures you control. Oh man, I didn't even think about that. Transkuja works with this guy because it's a wizard. Yeah, I just did a video on her. Next up, Jodah says, whenever you cast a legendary spell from your hand, exile cards from the top of your library until you exile a legendary non-land card with lesser mana value. You may cast that card with playing its mana cost. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. So yeah, if you don't know Jodah, you're playing a bunch of legendary creatures, putting them on the battlefield for free, and you're swinging at your opponents, and they have all their crazy abilities, and the game is over because you are locking your opponents out with all these type of abilities and effects that they can't handle. In the story. In the story. Moving on. So, Lightning Army of One for 1 in Boros, 3/2 body, legendary creature, human soldier. She has first strike, trample, and lifelink. She has the ability Stagger. Whenever lightning deals combat damage to a player until your next turn, if a source would deal damage to that player or a permanent that player controls, it deals double that damage instead. So, if Aerith is on the battlefield, guess what? Whenever you gain life, you put +1/+1 counters on her. So if you are attacking with lightning, she has lifelink and she deals combat damage to a player. Oh, you've gained life that way, but she also has trample and first strike. So you're just going to gain life. Going to gain life. There's no ands, if, buts about it. You are going to gain life and keep your commander on the battlefield, and you're just pumping up Aerith. Then when you feel like it, or you have the ability to sacrifice Aerith, hey, you put all those +1/+1 counters on Lightning Army of One. And this commander is crazy because the ability is doing damage for any of the players until your next turn. So only way to really not be a victim of this commander, if you're the opponent, is for her never to go to combat. Straight up. Moving on. All right, we got Ardbert, Warrior of Darkness for 1 in white and a black, 2/2, Orzhov colors. I almost forgot the colors. Okay, my bad. Legendary creature, Spirit Warrior. He says whenever you cast a white spell, put a +1/+1 counter on each legendary creature you control. They gain vigilance until end of turn. Whenever you cast a black spell, put a +1/+1 counter on each legendary creature you control. They gain menace until end of turn. So you get to control which keyword ability you want on your black or white creature. Anyways, it's legendary matters because you only can put these on legendary creatures anyway. So Aerith works very, very well with Ardbert, Warrior of Darkness. Moving on. So we have Aerith Last Ancient for 2 green and a white, 3/5 body, legendary human cleric druid. She has lifelink. She also has the ability Raise. At the beginning of your end step, if you gain life this turn, return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. If you gained 7 or more life this turn, return that card to the battlefield instead. This is a nice Reanimator for your creatures. And gaining 7 life is pretty easy. You already can gain 3 life from attacking with Aerith. She has lifelink and she's a 3 power. So, anyways, Aerith Gainsborough says whenever you gain life, put a +1/+1 counter. Sack Aerith Gainsborough, put all those +1/+1 counters on Aerith Last Ancient, making her a bigger body. Moving on. So I included a Mardu commander because I feel like Mardu could use this type of ability, and Mardu is known for having sacrifice triggers, right? Or death triggers. And you want to use these +1/+1 counters when you want to. So Shanid Sleeper Scourge for 1 in Mardu is a 2/4 body, legendary human knight. He has menace. Other legendary creatures you control have menace, so we're doing legendary tribal here. And whenever you play a legendary land or cast a legendary spell, you draw a card and lose 1 life. Well, there's a bunch of legendary creatures in these colors that have lifelink, so you can gain life. You can gain life easily to offset losing a life. But you're drawing a card. So this is kind of like a necessary evil to have. Aerith and Shanid Sleeper's Scourge. Thank you. Thank you for watching this video. Like, comment, subscribe, or if there's any other commanders or cards that you think work well with Aerith. I think she's better in the 99. End of story. Thank y'all. Peace.